And now I'm gonna like fellate Cheryl a little bit here. Okay. I dropped every hint in the book last night. You guys could have had a sandwich. I just had an appetizer. All right, anyway. And somebody's mentioning blood a lot tonight. Okay, fanfare. I'm sure you and Katrina, this is like a very touching story, and I'm gonna try to like be a little more serious because it's actually very nice because they met me when I was a rather, shall we say, cheap whore. And anyway, well, actually, I can't really complain about that because, you know, street walking is kind of like what bungee jumping is for macho shitheads. It's an adrenaline rush. I get a kick out of it. Plus, down here like in this neighborhood, like, you know, I've got no competition. And it's like, having been like the dorky, ugly girl in high school, it's like, you know, it's awesome to have like other girls, I only have track marks here, like she's got track marks on her neck, so, you know, like I'm getting in the car. But, oh well, anyway, I'm sure this is an introduction, I guess I'm writing for Katrina's book. Shut up! Let's agree to disagree, okay? I'm sure you and Katrina would have found each other even if you had never heard of Dogs in Lingerie or seen my HBO Wildcard special. But at the time you told me how all those starry-eyed and occasionally maudlin tales of tranny chasing in the late 80s Tenderloin somehow made the notion of a female-shemale lesbian relationship not only conceivable, but perfectly natural and no big deal. It was a desperately needed shot in the arm for my ego. Here you were meeting me at one of the absolute low points of my existence, and you made me feel like I'd actually accomplished something worthwhile for the first time in years. Plus, you treated me like a rock star instead of the barely functional junkie speed freak I so very obviously was. Right down to being totally unfazed by the Charlie Manson-esque tweaker I had brought this fellow with me, or rather he insisted on coming. Junkies get romanticized a lot more, but speed freaks get a lot more done. They really do. I mean, half my roommates were furniture, the other half were unscrewing furniture and building it and carrying it upstairs. It's fabulous. It's very flowers for Algernon. Anyway, we're talking about how I was a barely functional junkie speed freak. Okay, so I was right down to being totally unfazed by the Charlie Manson-esque tweaker alternately disassembling and reassembling a television set he had taken it into his head to bring over as a housewarming gift. This is something he could not be talked out of. Not even by Eeks, because like Eeks needed to like stop and masturbate in the bushes every 10 minutes, but that's another story for another day, kids. Thankfully, my former girlfriend, current boyfriend, yet another story for another day, was so overwhelmed by your beauty. That's what he looked like when, anyway. Oh God, I'm so sucking her off right now. This is so embarrassing. It was so overwhelmed by your beauty, and that he and the aforementioned tweaker pal soon fled into the night, no doubt to search through important trash and or masturbate in the bushes. I can't believe you were even willing to let me into your car, let alone agree to accompany me back to my current place of residence at the ever glamorous Merritt Hotel, where Eeks and I were living in what might most kindly be described as demented squalor, with our creepy trick, who, as I recall, was in a particularly sullen and pissy state that evening. Despite this, or perhaps because of this, you guys were willing to crawl out on the fire escape with me, not to mention trust in my ability to act as a guide through the Tenderloin sleaze tour on which I insisted on dragging you. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I love you guys. No, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you and Katrina helped me begin to remember who I was at a time when I was so close to forgetting forever. And if I had any part in you guys realizing who you were, I guess we're even. And can somebody please give me a lump of modeling clay right now? I really felt like I shared some feelings now.
Let it get out.
Yeah.
Let it get out, Danielle.
Feel it, Danielle. Feel it. Go plug everything.